Alright, I just got done watching $5 Wrestling's uh, new pay per view. Straight out, straight out of Compton. It, just like the promotion name says, it was only $5. I watched it on through $5 Wrestling's feed, which froze once and wasn't a big deal. I was able to get off it, and go right back on it. I the feed. I was able to get back on the feed just before the main event. So, you know, I didn't expect great wrestling from this show, but which really wasn't. But it was pretty fun. I mean, you know, it, it it's kind of, the comedy is different from Chikara. Like in Chikara, they'll do like funny things in the ring, and there was some of that and on this show, but mostly it was the comedy was coming from Colt Cabana and Marty DeRose. So this um match of the night was I don't know. I think the most fun one I got the most fun out of it was probably Cliff Compton and versus Big Donnie, because Compton waited and it was a lot different from all the other matches. Yeah, Cliff Compton, by the way, is Domino from WWE. Yeah. Almost everyone wrestling every match at this event except the opening match, which I really didn't get to see because I was distracted a lot by phone calls and whatnot. By every match had a fat guy in this, like, and so I missed the first match, but it had a guy who was imitating Justin Thunder Liger against a guy named Dog of War. And it looked like unlike all the other matches, it was kind of there was more more like what you might see at an event where the Thunder Liger guy who was pretending to be Thunder Liger was jumping off the ropes and stuff, and Dog of War was like well, I really missed a lot of the match. It's not something that I feel like I need to go and watch, because a lot of the matches really sucked. I like they do pretty weak punches. If you're watching this on my channel, I did this backyard wrestling called Moose Nugget Wrestling. It kind of looked like if me and my other friends were doing backyard wrestling. A lot of them were untrained, and probably the best wrestler on the show was Cliff Compton. Oh, without a doubt, the best wrestler was Cliff Compton, but the most fun wrestler, I think, might have been Freight Train. He's kind of like the Hulk Hogan of this promotion. But let's see, nothing. Oh, the third match they had. The second match had this guy named Damn Knight, and he had this really bad match with some other guy, and a lot of guys brought in their own belts from either some other promotion, or it might have been from some other indie promotion, or they're just bringing out belts so that they can look like they're important, or maybe it is a comedy promotion, so maybe that would be funny to have their own belts. And this guy Dynamite, he had a pretty bad match with some other guy. I can't even remember, some other fat guy. Dynamite was skinny and this guy was fat, and the next match, between Johnny Yen and Bubbalicious, the highlights of it was another bad match, and highlights were, of course, the commentary from Cabana and Mighty Rose, and for whatever reason, Dynamite decided he was gonna go from the back to the consistent stand, and they decided Marty DeRose demanded that the cameraman look and watch Dynamite, and it was really funny. Dynamite was still in the thunder of this horrible match, and he was making things pretty funny, and he got a hot dog or something. I don't think we got to see him again, but it was pretty funny. Um, and I think, I think after that we got like the more hyped match because Freight Train's is the he's the top guy in the promotion, being pushed as the top guy, and yeah, at the last pay per view he defended his title against Eugene, and this one he was teaming up with this little guy named Lil Donnie, and against the BCB Bureau County Boys, I think they're called, and you know it's an alright match, and for Lil Donnie was trying to hulk up several times during this match, and it didn't work. And Freight Train, his character is that he's a pretty slow guy, and I think he plays it great. And instead of he doesn't throw punches, I don't think I ever saw him throw punches. He just goes like this, and the guys I was running right into his fists, and just toot like he's a train. If he's Freight Train, and he charges at him. And this match was really though just the build up towards tomorrow's High Spots TV event, where they're gonna have Madman Pondo versus Freight Train, and the match ended with Madman Pondo grabbing Freight Train, pulling him off the ring, and they fought to the backstage area. So that left Lil Donnie to the Brew County Boys, or I don't know. I followed this a little bit before I watched this, but all I knew about $5 Wrestling is some videos that they had up on YouTube and what Colt Cabana talks about on the Art of Wrestling. So that's why I don't know too much of the background. So, the build, the build up to the Madman Pondo and Freight Train match was Freight Train threw a banana in like the back in like a gym, and Madman Pondo's girlfriend slipped over it, and there's the big hoo-ha. So, what's pretty funny is this match and the next match the refs were pretty bad because the ref was doing a good job of making sure the Brew County Boys were not cheating, and then the ref allows Madman Pondo to take out Freight Train, and he doesn't call a match of no contest, and the Brew City Boys taking a Singapore cane filled they put thumbtacks in, and they attack Lil Donnie, and they don't get DQ'd. I guess it was just to be silly. And the other thing, it was pretty funny. The Brew County Boys, they came out with the New Jack's entrance. I thought it was gonna be New Jack because I could see him maybe coming to an event like this. It wasn't a PG like Chikara, so I thought it could have been New Jack. But there's a black guy and white guy in Brew City County Boys, and the white guy was dressed up like he was New Jack, and Marty DeRosa and Cabana were calling him the White New Jack. It was pretty funny, I thought. And Lil Donnie was dressed up as Hulk Hogan, and he had to ask the owner of the promotion, Jake Manning, if he could rip the shirt apart. It wasn't great wrestling at all, but it was pretty funny. And during the intermission, they had Black Dynamite, who they getting all excited over because he bought a sandwich. During the intermission, they were reading tweets online and whatnot. There was some pretty funny stuff on there. They had this. They had this guy who was a parody of Jake Roberts, who was really fat, and he had a bald head, except he also had long hair, and he had a pillowcase with a snake, and he was fighting. I can't even remember who. It was another fat guy, I think. And the most memorable part for me was he finishes the match with a DDT, and about 15 fans, they said, ran into the ring to get DDT'd by Jimmy the Snake Roberts. It was pretty funny, and But they were all selling. No, they weren't getting up there talking. I couldn't hear them talking. Cabana was yelled at them. I don't think because they were selling, and when you're watching on the iPay-per-view, I couldn't hear them at all. Cool Cabana's like, oh, come on, you guys, no talking, no laughing, no talking. It was pretty funny. And as they were getting out, Cool Cabana gave each one of them $1 for selling the DDT. And after that, the match before the main event was this fat guy named Kevin Hart who came out to Bret Hart's music, and he had a CM Punk shirt on. So he Jake Manning, I guess, asked him if he could do a pipe bomb, and for some reason I could hear everyone else just fine except Jake Manning. I don't know what was up with that. I thought must have been the microphone Jake Manning was holding, but no, it was Jake Manning that for some reason he couldn't hear her very well. Maybe it was just the way he was talking. So he cuts a pipe bomb. I absolutely remember nothing for this, except I thought it was pretty. I thought it was kind of funny. And the different streams ended at different times, and for me it was when Jeff Hart had the whoever the hell he was wrestling in the Phantom. He had this guy named another fat guy called the Phantom. Canadian Crab, and the stream ended there. It didn't end; it just froze, and then I exited out and I went right back on, and it worked fine. I was watching the $5 wrestling one. I guess if we were on High Spots TV, the stream didn't come back on. But if you subscribed on High Spots TV, you're able to watch it anytime you want. So I guess that's not really a problem. Yeah. And the main event at the last pay-per-view was, they said there was some confrontation between Cliff Compton and Big Donnie. Big Donnie's like, of all the fat guys in this promotion, Big Donnie's the fattest guy. So the fun part of this match was Cliff Compton's beating up this fat guy with the bells. Then he's putting his shirt over him, and he puts him in a headlock and has fans punch him and give him chops, and even Marty DeRosa gives him a punch. Yeah. And they go by the entrance area, and Big Donnie somehow is able to push him into the wall, and Cliff Compton does this crazy blade job where he's bleeding like crazy. So that's how Big Donnie was able to get back, and they have a back and forth where Big Donnie is dominating them, and then Cliff Compton is able to make a comeback, and Big Donnie gets pissed off like, come on, or something, and Cliff Compton does a crane kick, and he ends up beating Big Donnie. And after Cliff Compton defeats Big Donnie, the Brew County boys come out and try and beat up Cliff Compton, which they do, and Donnie tries to make the save, he couldn't, and Freight Train comes to make the save, and all the wrestlers come out and try and stop the fight, and they break it up, and that's it. They were trying to hype up tomorrow's High Spots TV event, which could be on another website just like this one, and I guess they're gonna build up towards Freight Train versus Big Donnie. For $5, it was pretty fun to watch, and it didn't bother me at all. It kind of bothered me a little bit, like the first match where we had Black Dynamite versus another guy, because it wasn't too much fun. And then the third match, or the second match I was watching, the comedy was getting better, and everything else but the wrestling was fun. Cliff Compton did the crane thing, and there was a few things I liked about the wrestling, but mostly it seemed like a lot of these guys they're either backyard guys or just not trained. Like it would be stuff you'd see like if you watch M&W. We- it'll be like stuff I'm doing with my friends in the backyard. A little bit better, probably. Just a little bit better, probably, because they have a ring and whatnot. And they, unlike me, they didn't attempt to pile drive anyone. So I was so stupid for trying that. But for $5, yeah, it was pretty fun. I definitely recommend it if you don't, if you're bored and you could waste about 2 hours of your time. I, quite frankly, I will watch this over SmackDown. You know. So, um, if you're already a High Spots TV subscriber, you can you'll get to watch it anyway. And I guess $5 wrestling is just gonna keep this on for a few days. So if you just want to see this and check it out, I guess you could just go on $5 Wrestling's website and I don't know if they're gonna put it on. So um, maybe after a few days, or maybe you'll just have to go to High Spots and become a subscriber, or maybe you can buy it for free. But uh, if you're bored and you have nothing to do, I would definitely recommend seeing it. But the wrestling's not that great. Most of the fun is from stuff that antics that they're doing, and Cabana and DeRosa. So if you're a big fan of Colt Cabana and Marty DeRosa, which I am, then go ahead and definitely see this. It's just $5. You know, it's more fun than watching Raw and SmackDown for me anyway. And I'm happy that I was able to have fun watching some little wrestling. So it was in a gym. Everything was so indie, and but yeah, it wasn't serious at all. It was fun. So thanks for watching. I'll leave a link to $5 wrestling if you want to check it out.